when we hired him, we didn't know we would
Well,
keep
every
him.
document I've seen that he sent to the state and MID, it says General Manager Campa. It doesn't say interim.
Okay, that's what it is.
Now, you're splitting hairs here saying, well, let's drop the IM. He's never worn the I. If you're gonna do anything, put him on 6 months.
That's actually not true. I've seen the interim on here.
Well, it might be in there here and there, but on official things to MID and to the state, it's general manager, which I think is kind of misrepresented. Yeah, in the papers it calls him a GM. Why don't, the other thing is, we've got some serious financial difficulties with this district since he arrived. I can't see promoting anybody until we find out exactly where we are. We've got these grants hanging out there, he's keeping letters hidden, he's not, did you see the USDA letter?
No, I've seen the grants.
No, but did you see the letter?
No.
Do you feel you're doing your fiduciary duty to these people if you don't even read government correspondence to this district? I mean, come on, and you're talking about promoting him to GM? You don't even know the damage that's been done yet. It's gonna be coming in for months.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't you give him 6 months of wearing the interim?
Thank you.
See how he tolerates that.
Don't even get that. How much have you paid him in the last 8 months?
His contract is.
No, how much have you paid him?
Let me answer your question, sir. Let me answer your question. His contract is for $6,250 per month as the GM. Plus, he gets paid.
$80 an hour.
He gets paid an hourly rate to manage the drought. Because we hired him to manage the district, the basic district, and not all the other things that we've had in place. We basically paid him for about a 40, if you add up everything we paid him to work about 40 hours per week on the average.
And how much was that?
Off the top of my head, sir, I can't tell you the
I've
exact.
heard 6 figures.
I can tell you if you want to know the number.
I'm sure it is 6 figures over a year's period of
No,
time,
no,
yes.
8 months. He hasn't been here a year.
Yes, he has. He came in October of 2014.
October, but this is only,
October of 2014. He's been here 18 months, sir. Yes. So,
Too long.
I guess, I hear the animosity, and I'm really sad, because there's been a lot of discussion about wells, and I'm not gonna go into a lot of depth on this. But if you look at the fact that we didn't have those wells, you wouldn't have water.
No.
Danny, be careful.
Well,
No, Danny, you are misrepresenting things as bad as he is.
okay, let me go this way. I'm not trying to whitewash the fence, because that's not my style at all.
But you are.
If we had to truck in water, if you attended the meetings, we had to truck in water to maintain this system. It was 1.2 to 1.5 million a month if we could have got the water to keep the system going. Now, Mr. Jones said we would bring water in. At what rate does an individual get? 50 gallons a day? Would we even qualify for the county to support this district and you guys give us water? I don't know.
No, those are private wells, and I think I clarified that. Those are private wells that run out of water, then the water's free.
Right.
But those are private wells, that is not a district.
Right. So we're on our own
Yes.
to supply water.
Right.
And as a district, we have to do everything we can possibly do, and that's the steps we took to put the wells in to make sure that we have water for the community. I mean,
Then why did you try to drop the outside MID POU service? Those wells were intended to go outside.
no.
Well, then why did you try to drop that prohibition?
The prohibition, Lou, was put into place, I think, I don't know if you were on the board at that time. or
Yes,
not.
I was.
Okay. We said the one well that we had was such a minimal amount of water that they were concerned about, I'll say, over stressing it, tapping it out, whatever term you want to use. The prohibition was put in just to those customers. It wasn't, we didn't stop feeding people within the subdivision. Those people are still within the district boundaries, are entitled to water.
We
They
weren't
have to-
using the ground well for people in the subdivision.
I know that, I know.
They
that.
don't have a
So
reason
I
to
guess I'm
use the well.
confused, Lou, when you're saying we're putting in the wells to serve the outside place of use. If that's what I'm hearing you say.
That is what they were intended to do.
No, the wells were to supply water to the subdivision.
Well, yeah, that's what you had to say to get the grant. That's what you had to say to get the grant. And the grant people specifically told Campa it was not for new service. And that's why I want to see the letter from the USDA. What are these new conditions to get the money? I'll bet you it's falling on outside MIDPOU.
Well, when we suggested reversing that, I'll say, order, and it's all we were saying is those people that are entitled, that have gone through the qualified LAFCO process, that have annexed to the districts, that are paying availability fees, if they're entitled to water, there's a few properties out there, that's all we were trying to do is.
They are not entitled to water.
You know, that's, you can cut it loose.
Do you realize that this director right here that's missing, the short little investigation that was done by him wipes out over a quarter of your outside MIDPOU properties that you say deserve water because their statements were fraud.
I'm not saying that they deserve water, I'm saying
Well,
those
not that's what
customers
you
that
just-
have legally gone through the process that qualify for water. I'm not saying they deserve it. If they've paid into the district, they've gone through the legal process, if this district has annexed it, that's all I'm saying. If somebody has done all that, and I don't know.
We have no legal duty to serve it to them.
Hey, we're on camera.
I know, it's, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We have no duty, no legal duty.
We're good, no, okay, thank you.
No, yeah, we're way off.
I did receive a note from Mr. Ross, email this morning, he could not be here. And he did say, if I were at the meeting, I would vote to have a general manager. The California codes state that there shall be a general manager, and a former grand jury said that there shall be a general manager. Without a GM, the board assumes more liability and responsibility. I think it is disingenuous to have an interim GM without actively recruiting for a permanent GM. With the grants unfinished and continuing drought emergency, it would be difficult to have someone new jump in and take over. Since 2008, when I was elected to this board, we have been searching for the perfect GM. There's only been one perfect person throughout history. He was ridiculed, mistrusted, and in the end nailed to a cross. It is time to approve the GM contract, cancelable by either party, and move on. As I said, if I were president, I would vote for having a GM, not an interim GM. So that's what I wanted to share, so that you knew what Mr. Ross conveyed to me via email, so that way. So I'll try to remember my proposed resolution. It was to move forward with removing the term interim and establish an ad hoc committee to address the contract.
And using the original contract.
We will still operate under the
Contract.
existing contract until we meet at a later date. There'll be no change in service fees or anything of that.
And create an ad hoc meeting to
And we will create an ad hoc. That is my proposal.
So we're changing his title. That's what we're gonna
All we're
vote.
doing to it is removing the word
Changing
interim.
his title.
Staying with
using
everything
the-
else the same.
Staying with the original contract and having an ad hoc committee.
Okay,
Yes.
I got that part.
Okay, that was my motion.
The action
That's
is,
what I seconded.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a first and a second.
Okay.
Okay.
So Danny made the motion, Dan seconded. Board comments?
On this part, no.
Okay. Dan?
Some comments for sure.
I have no comments. It's already been said.
Public comment on this?
Oh, yes. First, I think Lou is right, he has been using the title general manager on an awful lot of documents. Cindy's used IGM, but she's the only one I think that's used the IGM. My big concern on this is that there is so much hair on what Pete has done. I tried to point it out, and I don't know whether people are catching on or not catching on. We are in a dangerous situation from a financial standpoint. We've got a negative net asset, okay? And for some of us, we'd have to file bankruptcy with that, okay? Yours doesn't show that much because you got quite a bit of equipment, okay? That's why you still show some assets down we have gone downhill tremendously. We spent way over $1 million. Campa has only taken out some 200,000 of it, okay? Somebody asked that question a minute ago, 205 or 6 or something like that $1,000. His team, though, people he's brought in that we never used before, have taken out way over $1 million. He's saying we've got the money. We don't have the money, I don't think, on these wells. We're gonna have to really stretch this out. It's gonna be quite a cash flow deal, if you will, to make this still happen, even if he thinks he's gonna get this last 400,000 or 500,000 out of, what is it, the USDA or something, I think. I've forgotten which one it was now. It's gonna be a real tough and close deal. And if we don't have the wells, if I'm not mistaken, we will be out of water again, we will be down to that minimum pool, probably pretty early in the fall. But, you know, I'm not like you from the standpoint of could we have done something different? If I'm not mistaken, we have really got cut off on the surface water in October, not December. We were allowed to go ahead with December.
We have a waiver.
But the prior year, we were cut off the whole time. We were below the minimum pool all the time, and we still had water.
Yeah.
Okay? So our problem with our water, you know, God took care of us. We didn't, like Emery was saying, we've never run out of water. We've never run out of the capacity to get to the water. We just have not played the political game that maybe they've done over in Calaveras County and things of that nature. Our water shortage is political. It is political. Now, if I'd have been sitting where you guys were sitting in last June or July, I might too have made the same decision to go with the wells. I'm not condemning the decision to go with the wells. But that was not the only choice we had, and we did not explore other alternatives. Now, with all of this in mind, okay, I don't object to changing his title to GM. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think he's done the job to be a GM, but that's okay. I don't have a problem because he's been using it. What I have a problem, though, is extending anything to him beyond this next board. You know, in 6 months, we're going to have an election where we're going to have 5 board members elected. Right now, you only have 2 board members elected. And I sure wouldn't be doing anything long-term other than trying to clean up the problems we got right now and prepare for any drought for next year. And that's pretty much where I would put my limits on what we're going to do with the management of the camp.
Thank you, Liz. Any other comments? Victor?
If you make him a GM, you make him automatically under the law an employee of the district.
You know, he is on contract, Victor, like.
No, the law says he is to be an employee of the district, period.
I have a thing here, it says, the board of directors shall appoint a GM. The county treasurer of the principal county shall serve as the treasurer. We know he doesn't want to. The board of directors may appoint the same person to be, but we have the rights to appoint him as a GM and within the law.
Give me a citation.
This is the,
6105.
Of what?
this is, I think, of the California Government Code.
Okay, fine. Okay, are you aware,
Chapter 249.
are you aware that Pete Camper was fired from McLeod district?
You know, Victor.
Wait a minute, to our utility district, big of Twain Hart Water District, and he's working right now for Los Lobos, Los Osos.
I know he was working, it was talked about last night.
Okay, the people are aware of it.
I think we're all.
I think
I'm
everybody,
talking about the people, I'm not talking about the board members.
that I can't answer, Victor.
Well, because he was working there since about 3 months now.
Okay.
Did you say anything to anybody? I talked to people in Los Osos, and they're surprised what's going on.
I haven't talked to him.
Tell them one thing.